I'm Trish with today's QOTD Question of the Day. What's a weird superstition you have? Do you hold your breath when you pass a graveyard? Do you always count on the number 7? You could be on the show, just like one lucky fan that I chose to feature. First up is Paul.
A weird superstition of mine is that I never pass gas until I'm completely outside the church.
Okay, so for some it's a superstition, and for others it's like common courtesy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it stems from normally if you pass gas, you want to lie and blame somebody else, but you can't do that when Jesus is watching.
Yeah. How are you going to blame that on your little brother, right?
Basically, the Holy Ghost leaving your body through your butt. So not the best look in a church, especially.
Oh, it's like sneezing, right?
Well, JJ, who had your favorite fan answer?
Yes, so I have a really amazing answer from Ramen, and it's the common superstition, I would say.
My superstition is a pretty common one. I think everyone's heard about the knock on wood 3 times to get rid of the bad juju. So if someone says something negative or is foreshadowing something bad to happen, I have to knock on wood 3 times in order to let all of that energy out and bring in the good vibes only.
Yeah, no, I definitely also have that superstition. I also do the thing where I knock on my head if there's no wood around. I don't know if that's a common thing, though.
JJ, I think I picked up the knocking on my head thing from you, and sometimes I'll even do it instinctually when there is wood in my vicinity. I'm just like, gotta go for the head.
You know, I'm big about that too. I'm a touch wood kind of person. Whenever somebody says something which is either good and you want it to happen, you're afraid that it won't, then you touch wood. Or if somebody says, you know, something bad that might happen, you don't want that to occur, you do exactly the same thing. But yeah, knocking your head, it's the Pinocchio substitution. It's a known thing. Look it up. But not everybody can do it. If you're too smart, you can't get away with that because clearly head not made of wood.
Yeah, lucky for me, I'm all hollow in here.
Well, Keith, do you have a superstition that you really appreciated?
I do. There was one that I had never heard before, and this is from Brianna, and I feel, you know, more learned and scholarly because of her.
Well, growing up, it used to be step on a crack, break your mom's back. Now I'm kind of scared of splitting the pole. It was never really like my superstition, but, you know, I think I let other people get in my head. So definitely if we're walking down the street, do not split the pole with me.
So this one totally made me laugh because I had never heard of this before. I thought maybe it was maybe a local thing or something like that. And so I looked it up on the internet, and apparently if you're walking down the street with somebody and you come into some sort of object like a telephone pole or a mailbox, and if one person goes on the left, the other person also has to go on the left. You can't have one person going on the left and one person going on the right, because that'd be splitting the pole, and it's very bad luck. However, the good news is that you can cure it just by saying bread and butter. And that's like as old as the superstition itself, as this like ancient video will attest to.
Pacing back and forth in their cage, we find 2 restless panthers. Bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter.
And everybody back in 1939 totally got it, which is just so funny because it's kind of like this relic of our past that's lost, like the saxophone. Reed, any answers jump out at you?
I have an answer that I think everybody could pick up, even if you're not superstitious, and it's from Manila.
Just always saying thank you, or always being nice, or smiling at people. I have like a thing, maybe it's a little paranoia, but I want to make sure that I leave a good note with people. And I don't know if that's a superstition or what, but I just feel very uncomfortable if, like, you know, I leave a bad taste in someone's mouth because of what I did or said or didn't say.
I think that might just be social anxiety. I'm not sure if it qualifies as a superstition, but yeah, good lesson nonetheless. So
yeah, maybe this is something that we lost, like centuries of, you know, the courtesy back from the Middle Ages. It's because, you know, they were afraid of the superstitious implications, you know, of not being polite.
So we've gone through some really great fan answers, some really good superstitions that I honestly might take into my own life. So if you want to record your own answer and contribute to this great pool of superstitions, you can record your answer to today's question using the links in the description. But time to get into our own superstitions. Starting Keith, what is yours?
So I don't know if it really counts, but I believe in ghosts. Does that count as a superstition?
I think it counts as a superstition if you have to do something to mitigate them. So do you do something and then you're like, okay, so now it's good, or now they'll be friendly? That
Yeah, you mean like sacrifice virgins and that kind of thing. Yeah, there was a little bit of that goes on here. So I live in this old house that is like terrifically haunted. And when we first moved in, it was like the week that we moved in, there was like banging and shuffling and, you know, all sorts of like doors opening and closing. And so we ended up, you're going to laugh, but we ended up scraping the paint off the outside of the house. So it's like an old house. So it's probably lead paint or something like that, you know, but we removed all of that and the ghostly presence just cooled down. We actually didn't hear it for a decade. And then now from time to time, we'll hear something, but it just seems it's mellower, it's chilled out, it's just whatever it was that was in that paint that was bugging it. It was like we removed the thorn from the lion's paw of our ghost. And so now we have a friendly ghost.
I would say
yeah, it's been 10 years and they're back. It might be time to paint your house again.
Yeah. We're going to burn sage or we'll go back to the virgin thing. If we can find one.
All else fails.
Yeah.
The ghost is like, we just wanted you to mop the floors.
You didn't have to do all that.
Yeah,
but thanks. Yes. Could you put a shrubbery in?
I think my superstition is it's probably more of a karma thing or a common courtesy thing, but I always say bless you when someone sneezes. And if I sneeze and nobody says bless you, it just feels like bad luck and it feels like, ugh.
What the heck is that all about? Why do we say bless you when people sneeze? Is it like, does your soul leave your body and then you got to like glue it back in with a blessing?
Yeah, there must be something old-timey about it or wives' tale-ish about it, right? I'd like to look it up because I feel very compelled to say bless you, always.
Yeah. I
gotta say, I've had some sneezes where I did feel like little bits of my soul were exiting my body. So I kind of get it. Again, might have been an old wives' tale, but I heard that people used to think that you were having some kind of like convulsion or medical problem. So it's like, bless you, hopefully God will keep you alive through all of this.
Okay.
I have no idea if that's true. And I never thought to fact check it whatsoever.
But it takes me back to Paul's thing. Don't fart in church.
Yeah.
But maybe
very different from Paul's.
But maybe something's leaving your body, right? Maybe we should be saying bless you whenever somebody flatulates.
No.
Bless you. Bless you.
I think the first person to like do that it would be so weird, but eventually it would catch on, as all superstitions go.
No doubt it will happen today. I've got all my boys back at the house. We'll get a chance to try this out.
So if you want to tell us about the history of sneezing, tell us your own superstitions, or tell us that you've carried on this bless you to farting that we've started. You can record your answer to today's question or any of this week's questions using the links in our description. And make sure to subscribe so you can get notified about new daily questions.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. A very special thank you to all of our subscribers and to all of you who have watched, voted, and recorded so far this week. Remember that the top voted answers make it on the air for our Thursday Big Show. So make sure to record at beyondtheair.com for your chance to hang out with us. And you can also play our amazing Guess and Big game.
And if you liked what you heard today, perhaps you like our amazing questions or the phenomenal fan answers that we've been able to share with you so far. One way that you could say thank you, and might I add, it would be very lucky and polite, is to give us a comment or a like, or maybe even subscribe, or bless you. If you should even love us, go ahead and click thank you. And if you do, then we will give you a shout out on the air.
And on the other hand, if you don't do that, there's a possibility something really bad could happen. So
just saying.
Yeah, we'll call you to action in one way or another. Well, we are QOTD and Be on the Air signing off, and we'll see you on TV. Knock on wood.
Bye, everyone.
Or was it a ghost?
Oh.